Benin's president Patrice Talon was re-elected for a second term by a landslide in elections last Sunday. With a weakened opposition, his 86% victory was no surprise.
We have come a long way, and we will go a long way. Now, each of us will have to see the results of our common effort in their home, in their personal well-being. And this may seem immense, but for me, it will be easy. It will be easy because now we know how to do it.
Critics accuse the former cotton magnate of steering the West African nation towards authoritarian rule. Most opposition leaders were either disqualified from running or pulled out of the race. A similar story played out in Chad, where citizens went to the polls the same day. Here too, President Idriss Déby Itno faced a deliberately weakened opposition, placing him in prime position to extend his 30-year rule. Results are trickling in, but there are questions over the participation rate after opponents called for a boycott.
We got what we wanted. Chadians did not vote. Chadians did not elect Déby. He will do what he wants with that knowledge. We know what the real results are. We know that the Chadian people unanimously rejected him.
The final results are expected by April the 25th. Lastly, in the Horn of Africa, President Ismail Omar Guelleh won a crushing victory in Djibouti's elections with 97% of the vote. Guelleh has solidified his grip on power in his 22 years in office, but he has also driven economic growth. As the world approaches the 1 billion mark for administered COVID-19 vaccines, many people impatiently wait their turn. But here in Senegal, it all can be done in a few minutes.
It's very easy. You come, you make your appointment, you take your ticket, get your vaccine. It's very quick and it's very good.
But there is a less happy reason for the ease. The Senegalese are not rushing for inoculation. Amid widespread vaccine scepticism, authorities had to adapt the plan.
If the priority targets don't show up and there is a high demand from elsewhere as well, we vaccinate them. So that's what we're doing. In any case, the priorities remain the priorities, but if they don't show up or we risk wasting doses, we vaccinate the other targets.
Senegal wants to avoid losing vaccines at all costs, but it's already too late in Malawi. Thousands of doses will be destroyed after they expired because of low turnout.
These 16,000 doses will be incinerated, and we'll try and make that public as well so people know that these doses have indeed been destroyed.
Only 300,000 people have received the jab in Malawi since rollout started in March. The target was 11 million. Reports about side effects, like rare cases of blood clots in people who received AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccines, add to the distrust.
I have not received a COVID vaccine yet because I hear that people who receive it experience blood clots, while others are dying and some are becoming impotent. So I'm afraid to get it now.
45 African nations have started vaccination rollouts, mostly with the AstraZeneca shot acquired under the UN-backed COVAX distribution scheme, a program that provides vaccines to poorer countries. Health authorities hope to vaccinate at least 20% of Africa's 1 billion people by the end of the year. For a second year, Muslims across Africa are heading into the holy month of Ramadan in the shadow of COVID-19. In Tunisia, the government had to back down from a plan to bring a 10 p.m. curfew forward to 7 p.m. after outcry just before Ramadan. In Dakar, unlike last year, the faithful could attend the Masalikul Jinan Mosque, one of the largest in West Africa. In the largely Muslim north of Nigeria, a spate of abductions means that for many families, this year's Ramadan will be a somber affair. Fatima Shamaki was among 39 students kidnapped a month ago from a school in Kaduna.
This present Ramadan now, that we're going to enter now, being her Fatima Ibrahim Shamaki, not with us. Not even me, for the whole family. Gaskiya we are feeling bad.
The family faces a double tragedy after losing their father, who died 10 days after his daughter was taken. Forbidden by the authorities from negotiating with the kidnappers, Fatima's brother believes that it was the despair that killed him. In past days, thousands of travellers passed through this Soweto station on the way to work or study in Johannesburg. But no train stops here today.
It's like people are fighting. It was like it was a civil war, or a war. It was like our beasts were fighting, or soldiers from somewhere came, because everything, it was like it was blown up.
The Kliptown station is a shell of its former self. When South Africa locked down to halt COVID-19 in March last year, thieves struck.
When the shutdowns happened, there were no security guards that would come and guard the property of the government. It was only left for the people. So people came in stealing one by one until it was completely like this. And it happened within the space of 2 months.
Initially, looters only took copper cables. But as time wore on, they got bolder. Today, stations are left stripped bare. The service has drastically reduced, and public rail utility PRASA faces a huge repair bill.
80% of the station has been vandalized. So it's a tall order to refix them. That's why I speak about billions. That to refix it is going to cost us billions.
The pillaging trips up South Africa's ambitious plan to modernise its rail network. 50 kilometres east of Johannesburg, this state-of-the-art factory manufactures new, so-called people's trains. But all these brand new trains are useless if the railway infrastructure can't handle them. It leaves the builders, like Gibela CEO HECTOR DANISA, frustrated.
I think for us, obviously, we don't make trains to be antiques, so we don't make them as storage or to be museums. We really, really want to help PRASA in moving people. That's the main issue.
The government does not want to lose face. The trains may not be running, but the Minister of Transport is promising a rebirth.
It's a revolution here. Things is going to be more busy than you can imagine. But the people's trains are going to all corridors and they will be deployed accordingly.
In the meantime, the people's trains remain under lock and key in their depots, awaiting the restoration of the looted rails and the signal to turn green.